Hey, happy day 85 of the BP Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma, in my fuzzy cozy robes. I notice I'm wearing my same fuzzy cozy robes in a smaller cycle instead of using all of them. There's like a handful or 6 of them or 7 of them that I'm just cycling through because they're the warmest, thickest, coziest robes. And when it's below 0 outside, maybe it's cold outside and I want to be warm. I don't know if it affects my blood pressure or not, but I just feel better when I'm warm and cozy. So today we're talking about automation. How do we take the process that we're analyzing and make it automatic? How do we make it a habit? How do we make it so that we don't even have to think about it anymore and it just automatically gets done? Our challenge today is going to be to look at the process that we're analyzing through this segment and find one way to make it automatic. Find one way to make it so that it just gets done. Yesterday we talked about scheduling it and things like that. That might be one way to make it automatic. It might be delegating the responsibility of it to somebody else, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, and so that you know it just always gets done and you don't have to necessarily do it. Now that works with some processes. For me, monitoring my blood pressure, probably not going to work. I'm not going to make it the doctor's responsibility to monitor my blood pressure once a year and think that's going to get me the result I want, right? So my process that I'm analyzing is taking my blood pressure. So what is a way that I can automate that process? What is one way that I can automate that? Maybe it's through technology. I think I've mentioned that I've got the wrist cuff that you push a button. I just have to clamp that on. I don't have to put it around and pump it up or anything. It's just a little wrist thing. I put it on my wrist, I push the button. I should demonstrate that. I should demonstrate that before the end of the challenge and show you how I actually do that. But that's one way to automate it, through technology. Find a device or technology or an app or a system. Nowadays there's so many mobile apps. There's actually a mobile app for almost anything you can imagine, and there's thousands of them being created. I can't remember the frequency, how many a year or how many a day or something, but there's like thousands and thousands of apps always coming online. Kind of like books, they're always being written, right? There's always going to be more that you can read and consume with respect to information, and apps are information and a way of managing that information. So maybe there's an app you can find that would automate the process. Maybe there's like a reminder app, and maybe there's I don't even know, I haven't looked. Maybe that'll be my challenge today, is look to see if there's a blood pressure app. And there probably is, where you can just track and write in your blood pressure. To me, just tracking it on my phone is not as easy as physically writing it down. So I continue to physically write things down and track them that way versus putting them in my phone. Can you put it in your phone or put it in your computer and make nice little graphs? Yes, but that's kind of like analyzing historical data for me. And if I'm going to make decisions based on that data, I'll go ahead and I'll track things and I'll analyze them and I'll make them into pretty graphs and see how they're trending. But if I'm not going to make decisions based on information, I learned a long time ago to not collect and gather that information, not collect it just for the sake of collecting it. Oh my God, revolutionary, right? We don't need to continue to do things when they're not adding any value to our life. So, challenge today, think about automation. How can you make the process that you're doing automatic in some way, shape, or form? Maybe you can't automate the whole process, but just find one way to make it easier and more automatic for you. I set reminders on my phone. I'll give you a couple examples. I set reminders on my phone to take different supplements and medications. Otherwise I forget them. You know, I know people that take a lot of prescriptions and they actually have to have reminders on their phone to take the different medications at the frequency and the times that are right for them. I just have simplified things so that I have like a 4 time a day system that I use, but I still need reminders to take those because we get busy in our lives and we forget. So one of the ways I've automated making sure that I stay on top of my supplements, which keeps my blood pressure down, is by setting alarms. So I set alarms 4 times a day to make sure that I get reminded to take it. That's one way to automate it. So I don't have to remember anymore to take them. I know when that alarm goes off, this is what I need to do. That's one simple example of how to automate a process. But again, through technology, through apps, through setting up a system where it's managed and done automatically by other people through delegation, we'll talk about tomorrow. That's a good way to automate a process as well. So maybe you can say, hey, I'm going to find somebody else to do this process. That's how I'm going to automate. And then I'm just going to check in with them once every month to make sure the process is done, or whatever makes sense. Or you're going to review results monthly to make sure that the process is going according to plan, whatever that is. we'll talk about that with respect to continuous improvement. So automation, the more automatic, the more we can make something a habit or routine or automatic, the easier it is to continually do that. I think I've shared the story about the water. My dad taught me to drink, in order to get your 8 glasses of water. It's hard for a lot of us. You put it in a location that you walk by often, and every time you walk by it, it triggers the take a drink of water. And then once the glass is empty, you fill it up and do it again. You just keep doing that throughout the day. And it's easy to drink 8 glasses of water if you do it that way. Other people will just automatically take 2 big water bottles with them to work in the morning or throughout their day, and they just keep drinking it till it's gone. Whatever works for you. Find a way to automate and make habits out of the process that you're dealing with today. So I guess another way of saying it is, what is a way that you can make this a habit? That might be one way to discuss it too. If you have any questions about this, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Bye.